Hi, I'm Francis-Adrien Morneault, a teacher, a veteran, and the author of The Light of Faded Stars. I live on the East Coast near St. John in the province of New Brunswick, where David Adams Richards and Michelle Winters are from. And we are in exam season, so I'm at school working away. My novel is a literary crime story set in my port city, also called Fog City. My narrator, Jack Willington, is on his deathbed. He's an old detective and veteran of the Afghan War, reflecting on his life and telling the tale of a curious case that fell into his mentor partner's lap years ago. Many of those people and places are long gone and have vanished almost like they never existed, but the lessons they left behind are still very much alive for Jack. Through his recollection, the theme of traces left behind by wars, relationships, towns, cities, and detective work is explored in a philosophical, poetic, and introspective writing style. It's an existential, character driven narrative that encapsulates a time and place, the East Coast, and offers much more than the traditional crime story. Critics have compared the book to the work of Cormac McCarthy, William Faulkner, and Raymond Chandler. And of course, this comparison humbles me. I greatly admire these authors, but I understand where it's coming from. My book is atmospheric, philosophical, poetic, deals with moral ambiguity, and is driven by the quiet force of place and language, shaped by the tragedies and beauty of land and memory. Since its release, The Light of Faded Stars has received several awards. It was a double finalist at the Next Generation Indie Book Awards, a winner of the International Impact Book Award in Literary Fiction, a Silver Award winner from Literary Titan, a winner of the Best Book Award for Spring from Outstanding Creator Awards, and it received the five-star seal from Reader Views. But none of that was the goal when I wrote it. I wrote this book partly to honor the great writers of the past and partly to be the voice of my generation. It's rooted in where I'm from, in the stories I've heard, and in the losses and triumphs I've known or my community has known. My process isn't purely academic or abstract, it's also physical and grounded, like the American writers and adventurers I admire: Melville, London, Hemingway, Kerouac, McCarthy. I believe a writer should live first and write from that lived experience, letting their imagination make the leap and create great fiction. I'd like to end by reading a short passage that speaks to one of the book's central ideas, the road, and what it means to the people from the Maritimes who grow up on its edges. In Atlantic Canada, people don't fly, they drive. One day, Bill and I drove that caravan all night on the dark highway on the East Coast. As the caravan's tail lights disappeared past the last gas station on our way out of town, it suddenly surged forward as if propelled by an unseen force, like a slingshot. The wheel quivered in my friend's hands as the speed grew, carrying us into the unknown with a thrilling sense of adventure. Under our tires, the highway swerved left and right, dipped and rose again and again at a maddening pace, like we were on a roller coaster. Bill drove with the beer spitting like a volcano between his thighs, while I inhaled cigarette after cigarette, the fallen ashes burning holes in my already torn 90s jeans. We drove on to nowhere in the eastern provinces, for miles upon miles of endlessly unfurling land like the world was all forest. We drove across all its untamed territories, full of shallow valleys, wild forests, cold green lakes, and occasional marshlands, like we were the very first to gaze at its beauty. We felt like pioneers, explorers, and conquerors, like we both discovered and exploited this wild frontier where the green of the land met the blue of the sea at the ever thinning line of the horizon. We drove and drove on its roads, repaired our flat tires, rolled from lighthouse to lighthouse through hill after nameless hill. For hot coffee, we stopped at Irving diners that were gas stations too, casting their giant rectangular shallow shadow on the highway. Their square tables had ketchup and mustard bottles in a clear plastic container with the salt and pepper shakers ready for French fries and cheeseburgers. That's North America for you, you know? We also parked in Walmart parking lots to sleep with the old folks in their trailers and their cheap morning coffees from McDonald's. During your life on the road, certain familiar franchises like Irving and McDonald became your anchors, you know? Thank you to the Giller Prize team for giving voice to Canadian stories like mine, and thank you for reading them. Until next time.